during examination and after the examination. What is to be done before the examination? Before the examination means now, from a financial management point of view, year 0. What do you have to do? During the examination hall, the most important time, during the examination hall, during the examination, in the examination hall, what do you have to do? And after the examination. At the same time, I've divided the students into 3 also. One is well-prepared students, moderately prepared students, second one, and those who are struggling to complete the syllabus. This particular session will be helpful for all. I will give you some capsule. Don't feel that it is very easy to swallow. You have to put your effort at the same time. See, now let me start with the time which is prior to the examination or before the examination. I'm sure that we all are very much confused about the exam. On a daily basis, we are coming across various terms, or you can call it as phrases. Online, home-based, center-based, opt-out, etc., etc., etc. There are a lot of confusions, whether to select home-based, what will happen if there is net connectivity problems. Leave all those things. By this time, I'm sure all have selected an option, either home-based or center-based. Now it's our turn to sit and face the situation positively. Whatever happens, ensure that, or be sure that ICA will find a solution. So be confident in our institute. If you have that confidence, then there is no point in taking tension. Any technical issue, anything which is within the control of ICA will be taken care of by ICA. ICA will be thinking, or it will be giving more importance from the student's point of view. Now, no doubt, we'll be going through online mode of examination this time. Of course, for the first time and maybe for the last time. What will happen, or what should happen prior to the examination? We are facing a lot of problems. How to prepare for the examination? We are facing a lot of tensions also. How to prepare for the examination? What will happen in the examination? There is no point in taking tensions. Tension will not give you a solution. We have to find a solution. Fortunately, we do not have to find a solution. ICAI has found a solution, has given a beautiful solution, wonderful solution, in the form of online mock test portal. Online mock test portal is given to you in the form of a solution to throw away all your tensions. It is given to you to practice, practice, and practice. End of the day, what will happen? You will become more confident and you will be ready to face the examination. So before the examination, year 0, what you have to do is go and practice online mock test. Visit a mock test portal and do all the tests which are given there. I will give you a clue. What is that? The clue is that I am 100% sure that there will be questions in the main examination which will be a repetition of what is given in the mock test. There will be a repetition, 100% sure. And 100% sure that 40% of the questions will be, minimum 40% of the questions will be from mock test. Minimum 40% will be from mock test only. Don't get surprised if all the questions are from mock test also. because ICAI has to consider many things. It has to take the attention of the students into consideration and many other things it has to take. So they will be, that is the reason why they have given this mock test to you. So practice, practice, practice and be a winner. That is the thing which you have to do prior to the examination. So first period is over. Second period, during the examination, what you have to do? During the examination hall, obey all the rules, all the instructions given in the examination hall. Don't try to be a joker in the examination hall. Obey the rules and put a sincere effort. Focus on the question. Focus on the examination. Do not look left and right. Focus on the examination. If you put a sincere effort or a moderate sincere effort, I'm sure that the result will be yours. So we have completed what you have to do prior to the examination, mock test. During the examination, focus on the examination, focus on the test, focus on the questions, and follow the instructions given in the study given in the examination hall. Give sincere effort. After the examination, you do whatever you want to do. We are not bothered. Even I am not bothered. We are not bothered. It is up to you. After the examination, it is your time. So please keep in mind all those things. Again, I am emphasizing on one point, which is give utmost importance to mock test. Do not skip anyone. If it is possible, take a screenshot of each and every question and try to complete and practice it again and again and again so that you are thorough with the questions. So that is one of the solutions to pass this examination in the time of global pandemic. Now, we are here to discuss on paper 10 in group 2 of CMA intermediate examination. So let me share some PPT which I have prepared. Please wait for 1 minute. Hope it is visible to you. Somebody can unmute and tell me. Hope the PPT is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah. Now we are in paper 10, group 2. I'm going to give you the outcome of the discussion. I will tell you what will be the outcome of the discussion. Outcome of the discussion is where you have to concentrate. Where you have to concentrate while preparing in the examination. While preparing for the examination. Which are the areas which are more important. I will not be pointing out problem each and every problem. I'll be giving you some clues to take you. So let's start. See, group 2, paper 2, paper 10 consists of 2 papers. One is section 1, CMA. CMA is cost and management accounting, and section 2, financial management. Section A and section B, sorry, section A and section B. Each section carrying 50 marks. I know you are very well aware about this one. Now let's take section A, cost and management accounting. See, there are 5 study materials. Study note 1, study note 2, study note 3, study note 4, and study note 5. I have highlighted study note 2, 3, and 4 in green. That means those 3 study materials are very important. You have to study it from A to Z. Study note 1 and study note 5. Regarding study note 1, It is basically theory oriented. I will give you what you have to concentrate on, study note 1. And study note 5, it is learning curve. You know, it is some application of mathematics, and some find it very difficult to solve the problems. In that case also, I do not want you to skip that study note. I will tell you what you have to concentrate in that study note. So study note 2, study note 3, and study note 4, if you can take your study material, take your study material, I will be following the order in the study material. If you can get your study material with you, it will be well and good. 2, 3, 4. Decision-making tools, budget and budgeting control, standard costing and variance analysis. Those 3 are very important. Others we will discuss. And regarding question pattern, I do not want to discuss anything about question pattern because the question pattern is given in mock test portal. I have visited the mock test portal. It is not very difficult to solve. There are MCQs, fill in the blanks, match the following true or false for 14 marks. That is the first session, which is 14 marks. Question number 1, 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D. Second question, it consists of 2 sub-questions, each carrying 6 marks. And in that sub-question, there are 3, again, sub-questions, which carry 2 marks. So there are, the marks are distributed in such a way that it is very easy to solve, or it is easy to perform in the online test. So this will be the mark distribution for cost and management accounting, 14 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12. 14 for compulsory question, 12 for 3 other questions. Please visit mock test. Whatever, how much ever I describe in the class, explanation I have given in the class. Only if you visit the mock test portal, then you will be able to get an idea about the type of questions and also the distribution of marks. Now we'll go to chapter-wise discussion. Before this, going to chapter-wise discussion, again I'm emphasizing, give a sincere effort in the examination, and the result will be yours. Chapter 1, study note 1. One second. Study note 1. This cost and management accounting, in that chapter, these are the areas where you have to concentrate. 1.1 introduction. Even though it is an introduction, it is very important. MCQs will appear from that. It is in mock test. 1.1, 1.2, 1.5, and 1.6. If you read and understand all these 4 paragraphs, it is not just 4 paragraph. It is these 3 headings. It is more than enough. 1.1 introduction, 1.2 definition, 1.5 functions, and 1.6 limitations. These are the areas where you have to concentrate in chapter 1. Purely theory based, I do not want to spend more time. We'll go to study note 2, cost and management accounting, decision making tool. Very important, very, very important. If you can refer your study material, you will see that there are 2 groups. One is group A, which is marginal costing, and group B, which is transfer pricing. We'll take up group A first. What are the areas where you have to concentrate? You know, marginal costing has a set of formula. Break-even point, PV ratio, margin of safety, etc., etc. And marginal costing has a marginal cost statement where sales less variable cost, you can repeat with me, sales less variable cost contribution less fixed cost profit. And based on this, we have to do the problems and which is given in the study material. There are make or buy decisions, shutdown or continue decisions, then whether to accept or accept a proposal or not. There are various areas where the problems are there. Because you have to refer to all those problems and do the problems. It is very important. A to Z, I said A to Z, number 2. Study number 2. Theory areas, which are the theory areas which are to be concentrated. One is areas where marginal costing technique can be applied. I think it is given as a last point along with advantages of marginal costing. If you can refer to advantages of marginal costing in your study material, as a last point, A, B, C, D up to K it is given. As a last point it is given. Areas where marginal costing technique can be applied. Then angle of incidence. What do you mean by the term angle of incidence? Then cash break-even point. We know cash break-even point. What is cash break-even point? Exclude non-cash expenses from fixed cost. Then you will get cash break-even point. Then the other thing is sequential profit graph. I've seen one question in mock test number 1 itself. Sequential profit graph. It is there in the study material. It is a graph which is drawn for all the products together. There are more than one product. Product A, product B, product C, product D. A graph is drawn for all the products. Then it is called a sequential profit graph. Then differential cost analysis. Then of course, marginal costing versus absorption costing. That is very important regarding decision-making tools. Marginal costing versus absorption costing. What is the difference between marginal costing and absorption costing? Marginal costing is a technique where the cost is divided into fixed cost and variable cost. And what is absorption costing? There is no such segregation given. Cost is taken in total. That is absorption costing. The effect, then the effect in valuation of inventories. Valuation of inventories, you will have that effect. And that is the reason why profit as per marginal costing and profit as per absorption costing are different. Hope you have taken a print shot of this or you have marked in your study material. This is study note 1. Study note 1, you can write down the paragraph number 1.1, 1.2, 1.5 and 1.6 and study note 2, decision making tools. Now in study note 2 we have a group B which is transfer pricing, internal transfer pricing. Transfer pricing is nothing but internal selling price. There are also problems. Problems are there using the transfer pricing. How to fix a transfer pricing. Those are very important. And regarding the theory, what you have to concentrate on, what is the meaning of transfer pricing? What are the objectives of transfer pricing? What are the methods for fixing transfer pricing? Methods for fixing transfer pricing. 4 or 5 transfer pricing fixation methods are given there. We can add one more, which is shared profit based on cost. Shared, S-H-A-R-E-D, shared profit based on cost. That is also one of the methods for fixing transfer prices. It is clearly given in study material, and there is one problem based on this shared profit based on cost, but it is not given along with the methods. You can add that one also. So that is all about study note 2. Study note 2 again, sorry. Study note 3, budgeting and budgetary control. Budgeting and budgetary control. Practical problems. Regarding practical problems, there are problems relating to flexible budget. What is flexible budget? Budget at different levels of capacities. And there are problems relating to cash budget. You cannot expect a cash budget as such will come in the examination, but there will be sub questions. What will be the what do you call collection from debtors? What will be the payment to creditors? Like that, the questions can come. So that is all about the practical problems. The theory part, you need to concentrate on functional budget. Functional budget. The most important one is there is something called master budget, summary budget. That is called master budget. Functional budget, sales budget, production budget, etc., etc. Flexible budget. Then the other one is the next one is very important, which is principal budget factor. It is like key factor in case of marginal costing. Here it is principal budget factor. What is the budget? What is the main factor on which the whole budgeting is centered? Whole budgeting is focused. That is called principal budgeting factor. Then what is responsibility accounting? What is performance budgeting? And set BB. Set BB is what? Zero-based budgeting. It is very important. It can come in MCQ or it can come as a short question also. That's all about budgetary control. Budgeting and budgetary control. Study note 3. Study note 4. I do not have anything to say about study note 4. It is computational variances. Starting from material variance, labor variance, then what? Variable overhead, fixed overhead, sales. Computational variances and reverse calculations also. Given the variances are given, you have to calculate the standard quantity. You have to calculate the actual quantity. Problems, such problems are also very important. Theory part, you do not have to study anything about standard costing. If you have already studied, it is well and good. But if you have not, then do not concentrate on the theory part of standard costing and variance analysis, but concentrate on uniform costing and interform comparison. It is very important from MCQ point of view as well as short questions point of view. Then learning curve. This is the one thing which many students find very difficult, but it is very easy. It is a very easy chapter. Now, theory, what you have to concentrate is uses of learning curve and limitations of learning curve. Only read these two paragraphs. You will get, it will be more than enough. Uses of learning curve and limitations of learning curve. These two will be sufficient for the examination, from the examination point of view. Practical problems. See, the practical problems, you have something called a learning calculation of learning curve ratio. Time taken for, or the cost for the first 2 units divided by cost for the first unit. That formula you have to apply, and the ratio you will get, that ratio is called learning curve ratio. Then practical problems, I have divided the practical problems into 2. One using the formula, the other without using the formula. Using the formula, if you find it difficult, leave it. But the first one, which is called a doubling pattern, I used to call it as doubling pattern, where the production comes in this pattern 2, 4, 8, 16 in that pattern, or 200, or 1, 2, 4, 6. Sorry, 1, 2, 4, 8. 6 is not there. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. The production pattern is given like that. You can easily do the problem. Just apply learning ratio on the time taken for the first unit. That will be very easy. You concentrate on such problems. If you find it difficult to find the log and anti-logarithm, etc., then you concentrate on the first part. And this is all about cost and management accounting. We have only 1 hour. I have set the time so that by 7:30 we should complete costing part, and I will give you a few seconds or few minutes. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Then we will move on to the beautiful subject, which is financial management. Up to you. Over to you. Please feel free. English ചോദിക്കണം നിർബന്ധമൊന്നുമില്ല, but എനിക്ക് അറിഞ്ഞുകൂടാ നിങ്ങൾ ചിലർ മലയാളം അറിയാൻ മേലാത്തവർ കാണും. എങ്ങനെ വേണമെങ്കിൽ ചോദിക്കാം. The man who is sitting on the other side is cost accountant. നിങ്ങളെ പോലെ തന്നെ ഒരാള്, നിങ്ങൾ തന്നെ എന്നെ പോലെ തന്നെ നിങ്ങളും ആകേണ്ടതാണ് കുറച്ച് കഴിയുമ്പോൾ. So we are going to be colleagues. So it is feel free to ask. I've been told that there will be many questions. എന്നോട് പറഞ്ഞ അങ്ങനെയാണ്, ഒരുപാട് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് കാണും, നല്ല പിള്ളേരാണ്, ഒരുപാട് സംശയമുള്ള പിള്ളേരാണെന്നൊക്കെയാണ് പറഞ്ഞത്. നിങ്ങൾ ആ പറഞ്ഞ വാക്ക് മാറ്റരുത്, സംശയങ്ങൾ ചോദിക്കണം. ഈ കുറച്ച് പേരൊക്കെ കാണാം, കുറച്ച് പേരെ കാണാൻ മേല, കുറച്ച് പേരുടെ പേരൊക്കെ കാണാം. ഗൗരി, അയോണ ജോസ്, സാന്ദ്ര, ശരത്, ആഷ്ലി, ശില്പ, പിന്നെ ഒരു പൂച്ചക്കുട്ടിയുണ്ട്, പേരറിഞ്ഞുകൂടാ, ശ്രീകുട്ടി, സോറി ശ്രീകുട്ടി. ദെൻ പിന്നെ നിവ്യ, അഞ്ജന, അപർണ, ഷാമി, അനന്തു, വിഷ്ണു, അശ്വതി, എക്സെട്ര എക്സെട്ര. ഷാരോൺ, ചോദിക്കാനുള്ളവർക്കെല്ലാം ചോദിക്കാം. Hi to all, hi to all. Say at least hi. Unmute your mic and say hi.
Hi, sir.
Hi, sir.
Hi, hi. Good evening. All the best for your examinations.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
എന്തെങ്കിലും ഡൗട്ട് ഉണ്ടോ? We'll wait for 10 seconds or 10 to half a minute. Then there is no questions. We'll move on to the next one. See, what I've done is I have pointed out the important areas. എനിക്കറിയാം നിങ്ങൾക്ക് പ്രോബ്ലം ചെയ്യാൻ വലിയ പ്രയാസം കാണുന്നില്ല, തിയറി ആണ് you will be struggling. So I have taken that portion separately and selected important areas or areas where you will be able to answer any questions. ഈ രണ്ടെണ്ണം പഠിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഇപ്പോൾ ലേണിംഗ് കർവിനകത്ത് uses and limitations of learning curve. Uses and limitations of learning curve, it is very important. Limitation, what is it? Is applicable only to manual work. It is not applicable to machine work. Machine learning ഉണ്ടാവില്ല. Machine will be continuing only. The manual labor will have learning. So such things. അത് പഠിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമുക്ക് ഏത് വേണമെങ്കിലും ആൻസർ ചെയ്യാം. പ്ലീസ്. Now, സംശയം ചോദിക്കുന്ന ലക്ഷണമില്ല എന്നാൽ. So we will move on to section B, which is financial management. Again, this study material also have study note, or this part of the study material also will have 5 study notes. One is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There also the middle 3 study notes are very important. Study note 7, study note 8, and study note 9. The first one, which is introduction to financial management, and study note 10, capital budgeting, investment decisions. First one, I will give you what you have to study. Study note 10. Some of the students will find it difficult to solve capital budgeting problems, but this is a very good chapter where you can score the mark. It is not that difficult. So, but some students, I don't know, because of the calculations involved, they find it boring. So if you have not gone through this capital budgeting, leave it. If you have, I don't say everyone, if you have not studied yet, or I will give you some areas where you have to concentrate on such areas only. So let's take study note 6, introduction to financial management. Take a screenshot of this introduction to financial management. This is purely a theory based study note where These are the important areas where you have to concentrate. One is profit maximization versus wealth maximization. That is one area where students find it still difficult to understand what is wealth maximization and what is profit maximization. Profit maximization, we know. Wealth maximization, what is wealth? Wealth is represented by market price of shares. Wealth is represented by market price of shares. And the objective of financial management is wealth maximization. Maximization of market price. How is the maximization wealth market price of shares maximized? Through profit maximization. These are linked, these are interrelated. But the focus is on not on profit. It is on the wealth of shareholders, wealth of investors. If you maximize your profit, you will maximize your EPS, and your market price will automatically maximize. So wealth maximization is different from profit maximization, but can be achieved through profit maximization route only. Now, there are three important decisions in financial management. One is investment decision, financing decision, dividend decision. See, if you understand what is investment decision, financing decision, and dividend decision, then the financial management will be a piece of cake only. What is investment decision? Investment decision is the decision whether to start the business or not, to invest in the business or not, to put the money in the business or not. You have decided to put the money to invest in the business. Now you have to find out the money. You have to raise a fund. From where? That is what is given in financing. So you have money with you. So with that money you have invested in the business. Money is used for fixed capital, at the same time working capital. So the company is working. നമ്മുടെ കയ്യിലുള്ള ക്യാപിറ്റൽ ഉണ്ട്, നമ്മൾ ഫിക്സ്ഡ് അസറ്റും മേടിച്ചു, വർക്കിംഗ് കറണ്ട് അസറ്റും മേടിച്ചു. So we start working, the company start working. And now, at the end of the year, the company has made a profit. Profit, who is the owner or owners? The profit is available to whom, or who are the owners? It is for the shareholders. It is to be given to the shareholders. How much to be given to the shareholders? How much to be retained? That is called dividend decision. How much to be given to the shareholders in the form of dividend? How much to be retained in the business? That is called dividend decision. Whether to pay out in the form of dividend or to retain in the business. Those are the three decisions. Lease financing as a source of finance. It is very important. We know there are two types of lease. Lease financing, operating lease and financial lease. What is operating lease and what is financial lease? You have to one is long term and the other is short term. You refer to your study material and write down the points. Then, very important, depository receipt. American depository receipt and global depository receipt, ADR and GDR. And there is one more depository receipt, which is IDR, Indian Depository Receipt. It is very important, ADR, American Depository Receipt, or Global Depository Receipt, where a company in India wants to raise funds in the form of equity from from abroad, from foreign countries. If it is from America, it is routed through ADR. If it is from anywhere else in the world, it is routed through global depository receipt. Now, what is commercial paper? Venture capital. Forfeiting. Please concentrate on the spelling. F-O-R-F-A-I-T-I-N-G. It is not forfeiting. The heading which is given in the study material is forfeiting, but it is forfeiting. It is relating to exports. relinquishment of right. Then factoring, securitization or debt securitization. Capital market we know it is primary market where the initial public offer take place or initial public issues take place, and the secondary market where the stock exchanges are involved. And money market is for short-term funds and capital market is for long-term funds. And what are the instruments in capital market and money market? You know what are the instruments in capital market? Equity shares, dividend, preference shares, etc., etc. Those are long-term. Money market, commercial paper, those short-term things will come under. You just study the names only. You do not have to concentrate more than that. If in the examination a particular instrument is given, and if you are asked to identify whether it is a capital market instrument or money market instrument, you should be able to do. You should be able to identify. Then comes to study note 2, ratio analysis. What to say about ratio analysis? All the ratios are important. I have to say something about all the 40 odd ratios. 45 ratios are there. Ratios can be classified in the form of profitability ratio based on sales, profitability ratio based on investment. Profitability ratio based on sales is GP ratio, NP ratio, etc., etc. Based on investment is return on investment, return on capital employed. Activity ratios or turnover ratios as it is called. Debtors turnover ratio, creditors turnover ratio, capital turnover ratio. Then short-term solvency ratio, current asset, current ratio, liquid ratio, etc., etc. In short-term solvency ratio, one ratio is very important. It is defensive interval ratio. Very important, defensive interval ratio. And one more is there, debt service coverage ratio. Out of these two, defensive interval ratio is very important, very, very important. Long-term solvency ratio, it is called capital structure ratios, where debt equity ratio, capital gearing ratio, etc., etc. Theory questions, you study the significance of all the ratios. You take each ratio and find the significance. And standard ratio, in case of current ratio, you know, standard ratio is 2. Study all those things. Significance, what are the importance of these, why this ratio is calculated, and what is the standard ratio. And limitations of ratio analysis. Limitations of ratio analysis. That is all about study note 2. Time is running out. So study note 2 continue. It is very important. Fund flow statement, cash flow statement. Can you imagine a question in mock test? From cash flow statement, there is a question from cash flow statement, but it is not to prepare the cash flow statement as such. It is to prepare to find cash flow from operating activity. Sub question number 1 was to find cash flow from operating activity. Sub question 2 is to find cash flow from investing activities. Sub question 3 is to find cash flow from financing activity. And AS3 is done. And this is the way questions will come. Please do not be under the impression that it is a long process to prepare the cash flow. It will not come in online test, online based test. It will come in the form of, that is the reason why I want you to go through the mock test. You will get a feel of how the questions will appear in the examination. That is all about study note 2. Study note, so it is not study note 2. Study note 7, second study note in financial management, study note 7. Sorry, study note 7. And now study note 8, working capital management. So these 7, 8, and 9 are very important. These are the areas, it is a very long chapter. These are the areas where we have to concentrate on study note 8. Theory and practical problems. So we will discuss both together. Concepts of working capital. We know what are the concepts: gross working capital and net working capital. Estimation of working capital. Problems regarding estimation of working capital. Estimation of working capital means what working capital is current asset minus current liability. So estimation of working capital is estimation of current asset, each and every element of current asset and each and every element of current liability. Now working capital cycle. Working capital cycle is R plus W plus what? F plus D minus E. I hope you know this formula. Working capital cycle. Then read read the other next one. Determinants of working capital will give you a fair idea about the chapter itself. That will be more than enough. And then tangent committee norms. There are two norms are given there. Out of this, you study this tangent committee norms. I used to refer to it as 2575. In tangent committee norms, 25% of the capital is to be brought by promoters, and balance 75% will be maximum permissible bank finance. If you can remember this one, 2575. If you can keep in mind, 25 is to 75. 25% promoter side and 75% from bank. The calculations, there are three norms. Norm 1, 75% of current asset minus current liability. Norm 2, 75% of current asset minus current liability. Norm 3, 75% of current asset minus core current asset minus current liability. These are the three norms. These three are very important. It can come as MCQ or as a question itself. 8.2, working capital management. We know what are to be managed in working capital management. All current assets, inventory, debtors, cash, and then what? Inventory, debtors, and cash. Inventory. Practical problems involve EOQ and inventory level, maximum level, minimum level, ROQ, reorder level, average level, danger level, etc., etc. Anything can come. Even if it is not there in the study material, you refer to your costing study material. In group 1, it is there. Any level is important. Theory ABC analysis, VED analysis, then JIT and FSL. ABC, VED, JIT and FSL. A category, B category, C category, vital, essential, desirable, just in time, fast moving, slow moving, and non-moving. This is regarding 8.2. The first one was 8.1. This is 8.2, inventory management. Next one is 8.3, receivables management. Very important. Hope you remember there is a problem in 8.3 where net credit period is given. Credit period is net, it is 30/10 or something like that it is given. That question is there in online mock test. That question itself is a little difficult to solve. That question has appeared in online mock test portal. Again, I am emphasizing on the importance of solving all the problems in online mock test. Then, practical problems regarding optimum credit policy based on cost benefit analysis. That is 8.3. That is all about management of receivables. Next one, 8.5, cash management. And there is only one practical problem, which is Baumol's model or inventory model, optimum cash balance. Baumol's model. And there is another model which is called a stochastic model or Miller-Orr model, which is office. There is a problem in the study material which is wrong. That is wrongly solved in the study material. You don't concentrate on Miller-Orr model. Don't study that problem. Don't study the formula given. That formula is also not correct. Miller-Orr, you study for a theory question where we set two limits and a returning point. Upper limit and a lower limit and a returning point. That is all about cash management. So that's all about study note 8, working capital management. We have 10 minutes more. I may take 10 more minutes. Please bear with me. Study note 9 has many things to study. Study note 9 is very, very important. Even if you study note 9 along with study note 8 and 9 will give you marks which are required for minimum passing. 40 marks is sure. Now, definition of cost of capital, which is what is cost of capital? Minimum required rate of return. It is used as discounting rate in capital budgeting. What is the reason for using it as discounting rate is in capital budgeting? Because it is a minimum required by the investors or shareholders, whoever it is. Now, calculation of cost of debt. Cost of debt, cost of capital. Capital consists of debt, preference share capital, equity share capital, retained earnings, WACC, and marginal cost of capital. 1 second, please. Now, cost of capital, cost of debt. Cost of debt. Cost of debt. You know, there are two types, redeemable and redeemable. Cost of preference shares. Again, there are two types, redeemable and redeemable. You have to be very careful while doing the problems, whether it is redeemable or redeemable. Cost of equity. Cost of equity, there are many methods. 4 or 5 different methods are there. Out of this, capital asset pricing model is very important from a theory point of view. Now, cost of retained earnings. What is cost of retained earnings? It is opportunity cost of capital. Then WACC calculation is very important. And of course, there is marginal cost of capital. It is, I will not say it is very important, but it is there in the study material. So concentrate on the cost of capital, cost of debt, cost of preference share capital, cost of equity share capital, cost of retained earnings, WACC, and the definition. That will be about 9.1 cost of capital. 9.2 capital structure theory. If you have not studied this, please do not study this. Please do not, if you have not gone through this, if you find it difficult, you leave it. But you take a screenshot of this one. What is there in your screen? Net income approach, relevant or not? Is it a relevant theory? Who found it? Who propounded it? It is David Durant. Net operating income approach. It is an irrelevant theory, again by David Durant. Traditional approach. It is a relevant theory, Ezra Solomon. And approach, irrelevant theory, Modigliani and Miller. If you can remember the full name of Modigliani and Miller, it will be better. I think it is Franco Modigliani and Martin Miller, something like that. You can refer to Google and find it. It is not in the study material. I do not want to comment on 9.2 anything. 9.3 dividend policy, very simple chapter. There you have to study 4 or 5 formulae. Graham-Dodd model, Walters model, Gordon's model, model. Model, it is again Modigliani-Miller model. Wherever model is coming, whether you know it or not, it is an irrelevant theory. There is a lot to study. At the end of the day, they will say that it is not relevant for dividend policy. It is not relevant for capital structure policy. So wherever it is come, it is irrelevant. Then there is another model which is dividend discount model by John Burr Williams. So far, I think it has not come in the examination, but it is there in the study material. Dividend discount model, John Burr Williams. So for each and every model, there is a formula. So that is all about 9.3 dividend policy. Leverages, a piece of cake. Operating leverage, financial leverage, combined leverage. Whenever there is a question from leverage, you know you have to fill up a format. You write that format starting from sales, less variable cost, contribution, less operating cost, etc., etc. You complete that format right up to EPS. If financial leverage and combined leverage is also asked, or up to earnings available to what? Up to EPS. Then there are two types of formulae for each: operating leverage, financial leverage, and combined leverage. One is the normal formula, where it is financial leverage is EBIT by EBT, contribution by EBIT is operating leverage, combined leverage is operating leverage into financial leverage. There is a percentage formula given for operating leverage, for financial leverage, and for combined leverage. That is also very important. So remember those two formula. And regarding theory, I don't think it is very important because it is maybe some questions may come for MCQs, but otherwise it is important from the point of practical problems. The last one, which is capital budgeting. We have 3 more minutes. That will be more than enough. Capital budgeting. Capital budgeting, what you have to study is appraisal method. There are 2 types of methods. One is non-discounting methods and discounting methods. Non-discounting methods, you know, payback period, then what? ARR. Those 2 are what you call non-discounting techniques. Out of which, out of all the methods, so there is only one method which is based on profit. This ARR that can appear as an MCQ question. Then discounting techniques. Discounting technique where we consider the time value of money. Discounted payback period, NPV, PI. Then there are 2 more techniques. There is one more technique which is MIRR, modified internal rate of return. So sorry, I omitted, missed out IRR. IRR calculation may also appear appear in the MCQ questions because you have a paper for refer, so it may come. Only thing is you will be given the options. You can find you can do your rough work and select your option. Then MIRR, if discounting methods are based on present value, MIRR is based on compounding value or future value. And in capital budgeting, I don't think the theory questions are very important. So these are the areas where you have to concentrate, and that is end. So we have covered all the chapters in paper 10, where I've given you in a capsule method where you have to concentrate especially on theory part. I hope it was an informative session, and there is some more time, 5 minutes. We can take 5 minutes. If you have any doubt in the question, you can ask. എന്തെങ്കിലും ഡൗട്ട് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾ ചോദിച്ചോണം. ഒന്നിനെ കുറിച്ചും ചോദിക്കാൻ മടിക്കണ്ട. Again, soon or later we are going to be colleagues only. Sooner or later. So feel to ask. എന്ത് ഡൗട്ട് വേണമെങ്കിലും ചോദിച്ചോണം. ഈ ഒരു സ്റ്റഡി ഇന്ന് നമ്മൾ ഇതിനെക്കുറിച്ച് നമ്മൾ ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യുന്നുള്ളൂ. അപ്പോൾ അതുകൊണ്ട് ഈ ഒരു സബ്ജക്റ്റിനെ കുറിച്ച് എന്തെങ്കിലും ചോദിക്കാനുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ചോദിക്കാം.
Sir, is standard costing at the sales variance in the equations important ano? The problems. Standard costing at the sales variance in the standard costing.
Sales variance in the
standard costing at the turnover basic on the absorption costing on the another. അതിനകത്ത് ടേൺ ഓവർ ബേസിക് ഉണ്ട്, അബ്സോർപ്ഷൻ കോസ്റ്റിംഗ് ഉണ്ട്, മാർജിനൽ കോസ്റ്റിംഗ്, അങ്ങനെ കുറച്ച് 3 സബായിട്ട് ഇക്വേഷൻസ് ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ ആ പ്രോബ്ലം അത് ഇമ്പോർട്ടന്റ് ആണോ? ഇപ്പം ഫിക്സ്ഡ് ഓവർ ഹെഡ് ഒക്കെ വെച്ച് നമ്മൾ ബേസ് ചെയ്യുമ്പം കമ്പയർ ചെയ്യുമ്പം
അബ്സോർപ്ഷൻ കോസ്റ്റിംഗ് മാർജിനൽ കോസ്റ്റിംഗ് ഉള്ള പ്രോബ്ലം ആണോ? എനിക്ക് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ക്ലിയർ ആവുന്നില്ല, അതുകൊണ്ടാണ്.
അതെ, സെയിൽസ് വേരിയൻസിന്റെ സബായിട്ടുള്ള
സെയിൽസ് വേരിയൻസിന്റെ അല്ല, അത് നിങ്ങളുടെ സ്റ്റഡി മെറ്റീരിയല് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു ഏതാണ് ഒരു റിക്കൺസിലിയേഷൻ പ്രോബ്ലംസ് അല്ലേ? ആക്ച്വലും സോറി ഏതാണ് സ്റ്റാൻഡേർഡും മാർജിനിലൂടെ സ്റ്റാൻഡേർഡും ആക്ച്വലോട് തന്നിട്ട് റിക്കൺസൈൽ ചെയ്യുന്ന പ്രോബ്ലംസ് അല്ലേ?
അതെ.
ടുവേർഡ്സ് എൻഡ് അത് നോക്കണ്ട, അത് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് വരത്തില്ല. അത് നോക്കണ്ട, അത് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് വരത്തില്ല. അത് ആരും അങ്ങനെ സാധാരണ പഠിപ്പിക്കാറില്ല. നമുക്ക് ഓൾറെഡി സ്റ്റഡി നോട്ട് 1-നകത്ത് റിക്കൺസിലേഷൻ ഉണ്ട്. ഇന്റഗ്രേറ്റഡ് അക്കൗണ്ടിംഗ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞൊരു ചാപ്റ്ററിൽ അതിനകത്തുണ്ട്. ഇവിടെ അത് അങ്ങനെ ചോദിക്കാറില്ല. തന്നെയല്ല, അത് നിങ്ങൾക്കുള്ളതല്ല, അത് ഫൈനൽ ലെവൽ. ഈ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ഫൈനൽ ലെവലിലും ഉണ്ട്. വെരി ഗുഡ്. ഇനി എന്തെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടോ?
സാർ, ഈ നമ്മള് ക്രെഡിറ്റ് പോളിസിയിലെ ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റി കോസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് ഇൻവെസ്റ്റ്മെന്റ് എടുക്കുമ്പം ടോട്ടൽ കോസ്റ്റിനകത്താണോ അതോ സെയിൽസിനകത്താണോ എടുക്കുന്നത്?
അതൊരു ഡെറ്റേഴ്സിന്റെ അല്ലേ? ഡെറ്റേഴ്സിന്റെ കോസ്റ്റിനകത്ത് വേണം എടുക്കാനായിട്ട്. അതൊരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ആണ്. അതിപ്പോ ചില കേസിൽ അവര് ഈ ഡെറ്റേഴ്സ് കോസ്റ്റ് അല്ല നമ്മൾ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുന്നത്, സെയിൽസിനകത്ത് പ്രോഫിറ്റും ഇൻവോൾവ് ആണ് അല്ലേ? ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ വർക്കിംഗ് ക്യാപിറ്റൽ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുമ്പോൾ വർക്കിംഗ് ക്യാപിറ്റലിനകത്ത് ഒരിക്കലും പ്രോഫിറ്റ് വരികയില്ല. അതുകൊണ്ട് വി ഹാവ് ടു എലിമിനേറ്റ് ദാറ്റ് പ്രോഫിറ്റ് എലമെന്റ്. കോസ്റ്റിനകത്ത് വേണം കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാൻ. പെർഫെക്റ്റ് ആൻസർ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ക്യാഷ് കോസ്റ്റിൽ വേണം കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാനായിട്ട്. പക്ഷെ നമ്മുടെ സ്റ്റഡി മെറ്റീരിയൽ എല്ലാ രീതിയിലും ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഒന്നും പറഞ്ഞിട്ടില്ലെങ്കിൽ കോസ്റ്റ് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാൻ പറ്റുമെങ്കിൽ കോസ്റ്റിനകത്ത് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുന്നതാണ് ബെറ്റർ.
അപ്പൊ ടോട്ടൽ കോസ്റ്റ് തന്നിട്ടില്ലെങ്കിൽ വേരിയബിൾ കോസ്റ്റ് മാത്രം എടുത്ത് ചെയ്താൽ മതിയോ?
അല്ലല്ല, വേരിയബിൾ കോസ്റ്റ് മാത്രം എടുത്ത് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. ആ കേസിൽ സെയിൽസ് വെച്ച് ചെയ്യാം. ടോട്ടൽ കോസ്റ്റിനകത്ത് അതാണ് ചോദിച്ചെങ്കിൽ ഓക്കെ. വേരിയബിൾ കോസ്റ്റ് തന്നിട്ടില്ലെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് സെയിൽസിന്റെ ബേസിൽ നമുക്ക് പിന്നെ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റത്തില്ലല്ലോ.
വേരിയബിൾ കോസ്റ്റ് തന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്.
കോസ്റ്റ് ഇൻക്ലൂഡ് ഫിക്സ്ഡ് കോസ്റ്റ് ഓൾസോ. ഞാൻ ടോട്ടൽ കോസ്റ്റ് തന്നിട്ടുള്ള കേസിലാണ് പറഞ്ഞത്. ഓക്കെ. ചില ഒരു പ്രോബ്ലം അതിനകത്തുണ്ട്. ഏതാണ് വേരിയൻസ് തന്നിട്ട് റിവേഴ്സ് കാൽക്കുലേഷൻ നടത്തുന്നത്. ആ പ്രോബ്ലം നോക്കണം. ഇറ്റ്സ് വെരി ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻറ്റ്. ചോദിക്കുകയില്ല എന്നുള്ളതല്ല, ആ പ്രോബ്ലം ചെയ്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ യു വിൽ ബി തറോ വിത്ത് സ്റ്റാൻഡേർഡ് കോസ്റ്റ് ഓൾമോസ്റ്റ്. റേഷ്യോ അനാലിസിസ് ഡൗട്ട് ഒന്നുമില്ല. അതിനകത്ത് ഡൗട്ട് വരേണ്ടതാണല്ലോ. ഈ ഫോർമുല എടുക്കണോ ആ ഫോർമുല എടുക്കണോ? ഇപ്പൊ എന്നോട് ചോദിച്ചില്ലേ ഒരു ഏതാണ് സെയിൽസിന്റെ ബേസിൽ എടുക്കണോ ടോട്ടൽ കോസ്റ്റിന്റെ ബേസിൽ എടുക്കണോന്ന്? ടോട്ടൽ കോസ്റ്റും സെയിൽസും ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ സെയിൽസിന്റെ ബേസിൽ എടുക്കുക. സോറി, ടോട്ടൽ കോസ്റ്റിന്റെ ബേസിൽ എടുക്കുക, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സെയിൽസിന്റെ ബേസിൽ എടുക്കുക. ഇനിയിപ്പോ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഡൗട്ട് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ടോട്ടൽ കോസ്റ്റ് ഇല്ല വേരിയബിൾ കോസ്റ്റ് മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളെങ്കിൽ അവിടെ നമുക്ക് ഇവിടെ ഇപ്പൊ കോസ്റ്റിനകത്ത് ഇപ്പൊ ഓൺലൈൻ ടെസ്റ്റ് ആണ്, അസംഷൻ ഒന്നും എഴുതാൻ പറ്റില്ല. സോ ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ബേസ്ഡ് ഓൺ അതൊരു വലിയ ഇഷ്യൂ ആണ്. അവരെങ്ങനെയാണ് സോൾവ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത്. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞത് ഇപ്പോൾ ഒരാള് സ്റ്റഡി മെറ്റീരിയൽ അവർ എടുത്തിരിക്കുന്ന സെയിൽസ് എടുത്താണ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത് സോൾവ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത് വിചാരിക്കുക. നിങ്ങൾ കോസ്റ്റ് എടുത്ത് ചെയ്തു, ആൻസർ ഒരിക്കലും കിട്ടുകയില്ല. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് മോക്ക് ടെസ്റ്റിലുള്ള ടെസ്റ്റ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് എല്ലാം ചെയ്ത് പഠിക്കണമെന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. നിങ്ങൾക്കറിയാം ക്രെഡിറ്റ് പോളിസിയിൽ നെറ്റ് 30 എന്നൊക്കെ പറയുന്നൊരു ഇതുണ്ട്, ഒരു ക്രെഡിറ്റ് പീരീഡ് തരുന്ന ഒരു പ്രോബ്ലം ഉണ്ട്. കുറച്ച് ലെങ്തിയാണ്. അത് ഏതാണ് നമ്മുടെ മോക്ക് ടെസ്റ്റിൽ തന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. പിന്നെ അത് ലെങ്തി എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് കാര്യമുണ്ടോ? ഇറ്റ് ഇസ് യുവർ ഡ്യൂട്ടി ടു പ്രാക്ടീസ് ഇറ്റ്. ഇതിനകത്ത് മോക്ക് ടെസ്റ്റ് നോക്കിയവർ എത്ര പേരുണ്ട്? വെരി ഗുഡ്. എല്ലാ മോക്ക് ടെസ്റ്റും നോക്കണം, എല്ലാ മോക്ക് ടെസ്റ്റും. വെരി ഗുഡ്, വെരി ഗുഡ്, വെരി ഗുഡ്. ഇഷ്ടംപോലെ പിള്ളേരുണ്ട്. വെരി ഗുഡ്. ചില ടെസ്റ്റിനകത്തൊന്നും ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ നമ്പർ 4 കാണുന്നില്ല. ഞാൻ നോക്കിയിട്ട് കാണാതാണെന്ന് അറിഞ്ഞൂടാ. നിങ്ങൾ നോക്കിയിട്ട് കണ്ടായിരുന്നോ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ നമ്പർ 4? 1, 2, 3 കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് എനിക്ക് കിട്ടുന്ന 5 ആയിരുന്നു. ഞാൻ പിന്നെ അത് വലിയ ഇഷ്യൂ ഇതാക്കിയില്ല. നിങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ചെയ്ത് കാണുമായിരിക്കും. എനി അതർ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ? എനി മോർ? 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. എന്തെങ്കിലും ഡൗട്ട് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ചോദിക്കാം. See, one of my sincere advice to you, do not try to be a joker in the examination hall. If you do some tricks, everyone will laugh. Our aim is not to make others laugh. Sincere. Be sincere in the study material. In the examination hall. Be sincere in the examination hall. That is one of the success mantra. So before winding up, let me thank Forward Academy to meet all these wonderful people. And it was a wonderful session. Many students have asked many questions. And I can spend one more minute. അഞ്ജന, എപ്പോഴാണ് നിർത്തേണ്ടതെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ നിർത്തിക്കാണോ? കുട്ടികളോടൊന്ന് ചോദിച്ചിട്ട് അവർക്ക് എന്തെങ്കിലും ഡൗട്ട് ഉണ്ടല്ലോ എന്ന് ചോദിച്ചിട്ട് നിർത്തിയാൽ മതി.
ഓക്കെ സാർ, ഇവർക്ക് ഡൗട്ട് ഒന്നും ഇല്ലെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു. ആരും ഒന്നും ചോദിക്കുന്നില്ലല്ലോ.
ഓക്കെ, അങ്ങനെയാണെങ്കിൽ പിന്നെ നമുക്ക് വൈൻഡപ്പ് ചെയ്യാം.
വൈൻഡപ്പ് ചെയ്യാം സാർ.
Okay, thank you very much. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.